Class, our discussion for today is about government accounting. Okay, now, most of the topics in AFAR, ang assumption natin is for profit. And the last meeting, nag-discuss tayo ng non-profit organizations or NPOs. Today naman, we have government accounting. So we have for profit, non-profit, and government. Pero yung objective for them is still the same. For government accounting, the same for profit and non-profit, the objective is to provide information that is useful in making economic decisions. So, for decision making pa rin. Okay? Ang difference lang for government accounting is it places more emphasis on two things. Number one, sources and uses of government funds. And number two is accountability of government agencies. So let's call them GAs for government agencies. So again, difference for government accounting is it places more emphasis on sources and uses of government funds and accountability of government agencies. Now, when you say government funds, so ang ibig sabihin niyang class, ito yung national budget natin. Okay, and FYI, the national budget for year 2022 is 5 trillion pesos. Okay, and I believe yung 5 trillion pesos na yan yata yung highest ng history sa budget natin here in the Philippines. Okay, now, let's concentrate on the sources and uses of government funds. So, lagyan natin dito, sources. So, ibig sabihin nito, class, paano natin mapufund yung 5 trillion na yan? In 4 ways. Number 1, favorite nyo to, taxes. Okay, so alam nyo na yan in taxation. And we have two types. No? We have national taxes and we have local taxes. So, we know, taxation or taxes, yan yung lifeblood of the government. So, pag wala yan, basically, paralyzed yung government natin. Okay, so number 1 is taxes. Number 2, tariffs and duties. So basically, class, ito yung related sa importation. And yung in charge dito, yung Bureau of Customs. Okay? That's number 2. Number 3, fees and licenses. Examples. Example, class, magre-renew tayo ng driver's license. Kukuha tayo ng business permit. Okay? Kukuha tayo ng passport. So lahat yan, example siya ng fees and licenses. Kailangan natin magbayad. Alright? And number 4, pwede rin na through borrowings. And usually, meron tayong mga foreign loans. So, nag-loan tayo sa World Bank, Asian Development Bank. Ayan. Yung apat na yung class, yun yung main sources natin for the national budget. Okay, let's go to the uses. Uses naman, dito basically pupunta yung funds. Okay? So, dapat mapunta yan sa programs and projects ng government natin. Yung 5 trillion na yung class, actually, yung highest allocation yan is DepEd and CHED. Okay? And then next naman class is DPWH. This is second. Third highest allocation is DILG. And then the rest, so meron DOTR, DSWD, DOH, DENR, DOLE, etc. So marami yan yung mga departments. Okay? So now class, yung uses, ibig sabihin, DepEd and CHED. Yung gagamitan nila ng funds, for example, yung free tuitions for state colleges and universities. Okay? Ano pa? DPWH and DOTR, yung mga infrastructure. Okay? For example, yung MRT7 or Metro Manila Subway or magko-construct ng roads, bridges, airports, mga ganyan. Ano pa? Let's say Department of Health, procurement ng COVID-19 vaccine. Ayan. Yun yung mga examples ng programs and projects. So again, when you say sources of government funds, ito yung inflows, okay? Yung uses naman, basically, yun yung outflows natin. Got it? Now, it's important to know, class, yung mga government agencies involved in government accounting. So, lagay natin dito, involved government agencies. Okay? Meron tayong 4. Number 1 is the Commission on Audit or COA. Well, from the name itself, Commission on Audit or audit, basically, ito yung nag-audit ng government agencies. Audits, government agencies. Okay? Ano pa yung ibang functions ng COA? Number 2, yung COA, siya yung nagpo-promulgate promulgates accounting and auditing rules and regulations. So, ulitin ko, second function of COA is to promulgate accounting and auditing rules and regulations. Basically, siya nagde-decide kung anong accounting and auditing standards yung i-apply sa government accounting. So, later, i-mention natin kung ano yung accounting standards na ginagamit. Alright? Number 3 is the COA submits annual reports to the President. Okay, actually, to the President and the Congress. President and Congress. So class, ang suggestion ko sa inyo, visit nyo yung website ni COA. Okay, coa.gov.ph. Makikita nyo doon may mga annual reports si COA sa lahat ng government agencies. And para mas ma-appreciate mo siya. Okay, easy reading lang naman yan. Para lang familiarize yourselves lang. Pero mapapansin mo doon, may mga opinions kasi yan. Mga, parang sa audit theory natin, mga different types of opinions din. So mapapansin mo, most of the opinions si COA sa mga government agencies na yan, either qualified or adverse. So, alam niyo na kung bakit. Okay, so that's number 3. Number 4 is, COA also keeps the general accounts of the government. O basically, yung accounting. Alright? Si COA bahala dyan. So, ayan. This is the first one. Commission audit. Number 2. Nandyan din si DBM or Department of Budget and Management. So, budget, ibig sabihin, siya bahala dun sa budgetary process or the formulation and implementation of the national budget. Okay? So, si DBM bahala dyan. Siya nag-o-oversee niyan. Okay? Especially the budget process na i-discuss natin later. So, that's number 2. Number 3, we have the Bureau of Treasury or BTR. Okay? Bureau of Treasury. Basically, si BTR, siya bahala dun sa, siya yung cash custodian. Alright? And in fact, BTR is under the Department of Finance. Alright, and last one, yung mag-execute, which are the government agencies natin. Sila yung mag-utilize ng funds. Okay, sa kanila i-entrust yung funds. Now, yung government agencies class, pwede nating i-breakdown yan into 3 types. Meron tayong tinatawag na national government agencies, we have the local government units or LGUs, and we have the GOCCs. Okay? I-differentiate natin yung tatlo na yan. Pag sinabi mong national government agencies or NGAs, nandiyan class yung departments. Okay, ano yung mga departments? Ayan. Mga Department of Health, DepEd, DPWH, DILG, lahat ng mga departments. Yung mga departments na yan class, headed sila by what we call the cabinet members. Okay? Cabinet members, yun yung mga secretary. For example, DOH secretary, DOF secretary, sila yung tinatawag na cabinet members. Okay? Nag-a-appoint yan yung si president. Okay, next. Under NGAs, meron din tayo dyan class na offices. So, departments, offices, for example, Office of the President and Office of the Vice President. Ayun, National Government Agency din yan. And others, for example, CHED. Okay? For example, MMDA. Ayan. Kasama din yan sa National Government Agency. Gets? Okay. Punta tayo sa LGUs. Alam nyo na rin ito class. Discuss natin sa taxation. We have provinces, we have cities, municipalities, and barangays. Okay? Municipalities, barangays. So may allocation din sa kanila. Okay? May mga budget din para sa kanila. So we know na yung heads na yan, provinces, cities, municipalities, barangays, we have the governor, we have the mayor, and we have the barangay captain. Now, dito tayo sa third one. Sir, ano ba yung GOCCs? The government-owned and controlled corporations. Ibig sabihin class, these are corporations owned, controlled by the Philippine government, pero important dito class, yung functions nila, okay? Functions related to public needs. Okay? So, yun yung keywords dito. Related to public needs. I'll give you examples. Ano ba yung mga malalaking GOCCs? Land Bank of the Philippines, LBP. Lung Center of the Philippines. Okay, ano pa? Heart Center. Lahat yan pang public needs. What else? PDIC, PCSO, NFA, PNR. Ayan. Sulat ko lang class yung mga examples natin ng GOCC. So, yung tatlo na yan, NGAs, LGUs, GOCCs, considered sila as, or yan yung categories ng government agencies. Got it? Okay, now, ito important class. Take note na yung government agencies na yan, lahat ng yan, meron silang sarili-sariling accounting departments. Required yan. May sarili silang accounting departments. Sila yung mga nagre-record ng transactions ng mga government agencies na yan. Okay? Sila yung ino-audit ng COA. Got it? Yung, di ba, nasasubmit na annual report si COA. Annual report, ayun, i-audit nila yung mga ni-record ng mga accounting departments na yan, ng mga government agencies. Gets? Okay, now, yung ginagamit, since gumagawa ng annual reports, so dapat may basis si COA. Tama? Meron siyang accounting standards na ginagamit. Ang tawag natin doong class is, ito kalagay, Government Accounting Manual for National Government Agencies. Medyo mahaba. Government Accounting Manual for National Government Agencies, or tawagin natin siyang GAM. Okay? Government Accounting Manual. Pag sabi kong GAM, yun yung accounting standard sa government accounting. Tandaan yan. Yung basis nito, class, based on IPSAS. Sir, ano yung IPSAS? Shorten ko na lang, mahaba. IPSAS, yun yung International Public Sector Accounting Standards. Okay? Yan. International Public Sector Accounting Standards. Siyempre, in-adapt sa Philippines yan. Hulaan nyo kung ano tawag? PPSAS. Okay? So, sa Philippines, siyempre, creative tayo, PPSAS. Parang IFRS. So, International Financial Reporting Standards, in-adapt sa Philippines, yung international ginawang Philippines. Ganun din dito, yung I ginawang P. Okay? So, ayan, yun yung basis ng Government Accounting Manual. And yung nag-decide kung alin yung gagamitin accounting standards is the COA. Kasi ang function niya, promulgate accounting and auditing rules and regulations. Okay? Si COA yan. Now, class, by design, okay sana. Kasi, imagine, si DBM parang siya yung authorization. Tama? Authorization, recording natin si COA, siya na rin yung auditing, yung BTR natin, Bureau of Treasury, siya yung custody. Di ba klase, yun yung basic segregation of duties natin, authorization, recording, custody. Government agencies naman, sila bahala sa execution. So, kumbaga sa auditing theory, by design, okay sana. Tama? Pero yung implementation, dun nagkakaroon ng problema. Kasi, pag tumingin ka dyan class sa news, Google search mo lang, no? Maraming COA findings recently. For example, sa DOH, merong 67 billion na deficiency, 67 billion pesos. Sa TESDA, 160 million. Sa DOLE, 7 billion. DOTR, 9.5 billion. Yun pa lang yung mabilisang research ko. So, marami pa yan. No? So, few lang yung minention ko. But anyway, and if you look at, again, check mo yung COA website. Ha? So, may mga annual reports. Open mo lang. Makikita mo doon, puro qualified or adverse opinion yung ini-issue ng COA sa mga government agencies na yan. May mga unqualified naman, pero karamihan qualified and adverse. Okay? Sige, now. Class, remember na in the board exam, pagdating sa government accounting, yung tinatanong lang dito usually, journal entries and theory questions lang. Yun lang. Computation dito sobrang dali, or at least baka nga wala eh. Journal entries and theories lang. So, doon tayo magpo-focus nga. Okay? So, i-risk nga ito, class. Make sure na-copy nyo to. And pag-uusapan natin is about the budgeting process. No? Mahalaga ito kasi gusto ko, alam nyo paano nagpo-flow. Okay? Paano nag-a-arrive dun sa 5 trillion na budget na yan. Okay? Kasi may legal process dyan. Sige, tingnan natin, class. I-risk ko na rin to. Okay, so let's study, tawag natin diyang class sa budgeting process is the budget cycle. Budget cycle. Basically, meron tayong 4 stages, no? Or 4 cycles. So, meron siya acronym na PLEA, PLEA. Okay? P stands for preparation or budget preparation, budget legislation, budget execution, and budget accountability. Ayan. So, meron tayong 4 stages ng budgeting cycle natin. Okay? Isa-isay natin klase. Bilisan ko lang para efficient tayo. Number 1 is the budget preparation. Okay. So, in the budget preparation, meron tayong 3 steps. No? Step 1, merong budget call na tinatawag. Ibig sabihin ng budget call, si DBM, nag-i-issue siya ng budget call to the government agencies, to GAs. Ibig sabihin, i-inform niya yung mga government agencies, okay, budgeting stage na ulit tayo or budget, mag-start na yung budgeting natin. Okay, i-inform niya, i-notify niya. lahat ng government agencies. Ayan, si DBM, gagawa niyan, okay? Ng budget call. Issues budget call. Okay? Next naman na mangyayari dyan, class, yung mga government agencies, magsasubmit sila or prepare sila na tinatawag natin na budget proposal. Okay? So, sa budget proposal, nandun yung details ng programs and projects ng government agencies. Nandun din yung budget na, well, na gusto ng mga government agencies. So, how much yung i-spend nila for those programs and projects. Okay? Now, next na mangyayari dyan, class, as you notice, mag-start sa government agencies. Tama? Actually, meron siyang related concept sa MAS natin. Naalala niyo yung bottom-up budgeting? Naalala niyo yan sa MAS? Ayun. Ito yung example nun. Kasi from government agencies, pataas siya. Okay? So, yun yung first step under budget preparation. Second step naman, class, meron tayong tinatawag na budget hearing. Okay? Sa budget hearing, ang mangyayari dyan, yung mga government agencies na yan, kailangan lang i-defend and i-justify yung proposal nila. Ito. Di-defend nila yan before DBM. Okay? Justify nila yung budget na gusto nila, okay, before DBM. Alright? Now, pag na-defend na nila yan, si DBM, ang gagawin niya, magde-deliberate sila. Okay? Magde-deliberate, gagawa ng recommendations, and then, i-consolidate na lahat ng budget proposal ng lahat ng government agencies. Okay? So, ulitin ko, magde-defend si government agencies sa DBM. After that, si DBM magde-deliberate, magre-recommend, magko-consolidate. Okay? And then, magsasubmit si DBM, submits proposal to the President. Sasubmit niya yung budget proposal na yan to the President. Okay? Alright, so yun yung second step natin. Third step is presentation to the Office of the President. Okay? OP na lang. Presentation to the Office of the President. And then, sa President and Cabinet members, re-reviewin nila yung, okay? Re-reviewin nila yung budget proposal na binigay sa kanila ni DBM. Okay? Sino ba yung Cabinet members? Again, ito yung mga secretaries. Okay? Actually, part din ng cabinet member si Vice President. Okay? So, re-reviewin ni President, ni Vice President, and yung mga secretaries, yung budget proposal na yan. And then, magka-come up sila sa tinatawag na President's budget. Okay? After reviewing the proposal, meron tayong tinatawag na President's budget. Okay? So, dito mag-e-end yung first stage natin, yung budget preparation. Gets? Okay, let's go to the second stage. So, class, so we'll be patient lang sa pakikinig. So, I think important kasi ito. So, second stage natin, tapos na tayo sa preparation, dun tayo sa budget legislation. So, ibig sabihin nito, class, paano magiging batas yan? Okay? Paano magiging effective yung budgeting na yan? Alright? So, basically, yan yung legislative process or legalization process. Okay? So, class, actually, meron yung related concept dun sa taxation natin. So, I don't know if you still remember, pero one of the constitutional limitations, alala niyo pa yan? Inherent and constitutional limitations. Isa sa constitutional limitations, so basahin ko according to the Constitution, government funds must only be spent in pursuance of an appropriation made by law. Ulitin ko, according to the Constitution, government funds must only be spent in pursuance of an appropriation made by law. Ibig sabihin, naalala niyo yun yung isa sa constitutional limitations. Ibig sabihin nun, bago makapag-spend yung mga government agencies natin na yan, ng funds, ng government, dapat meron mo ng batas, may due process muna. Okay? Meron mo ng appropriation from the law. Yun yung stage number 2 natin, yung legislation. Okay, sir, saan mag-start yan? Mag-start yan, class, sa House deliberation. Okay? House deliberation. So, upon receipt of the President's budget, dadali yan sa House. And if you remember, class, yung House na yan, meron kasi tayong Congress. Tama? Meron tayong Upper House. Well, na-discuss natin sa taxation. Review na lang to. Meron tayong Lower House. Upper House natin, yan yung Senate, headed by the Senators. And yung, well, yung President nila, ang tawag is Senate President. Okay? Sa Lower House naman, meron tayong House of Representatives. Nandyan yung mga congressman. And yung head niyan, yung Speaker of the House. Alright? So, House deliberation, ito muna. Yung House of Representatives muna, ang gagawin nila, magko-conduct sila ng hearings. Okay? Conducts hearings. para scrutinize nila basically yung laman ng President's budget. Okay, scrutinize nila yan. Now, next is, si House of Representatives prepares the General Appropriations Bill, okay, or GAB. Naalala niyan, mag-start muna tayo sa bill. Tama, yung paggawa ng batas. So, ngayon, ayan, magpe-prepare niya si House of Representatives. Ang tawag natin dito, class, ito yung House version of the budget, national budget. Okay? House version. Okay, kung may House version, dapat meron din tayong Senate version. So, next natin is Senate deliberation. Okay? So, ang mangyayari dito, class, obviously, si Senate, magko-conduct din ng hearings yan. And then, ayan, so scrutinize nila yung President's budget, and then mag-a-arrive sila sa tinatawag natin na Senate version. Alright? So, may dalawa na tayong versions. We have the House version and may Senate version. Ngayon, class, alam natin, yung sa House version, well, ang nag-scrutinize yan, yung House of Representatives, so yung congressmen. Ito naman, yung mga senators. So, possible na may differences yan. Okay? So, may differences yung House version and Senate version. Kailangan i-reconcile yan. Kaya may tinatawag tayo na bicameral deliberation. Bicameral deliberation. Or baka naririnig yung BICAM. Yan yun. Okay? Yung committee, ang tawag dito, class, is the Bicameral Conference Committee. Okay? So, ibig sabihin yan, ang function nila, class, is to harmonize or to reconcile the differences between the House version and the Senate version. Gets ba? Okay. Now, yung BICAM na yan, mag-arrive sila sa final version. Okay? Yung final version na yan, ibabalik nila sa Senate and House version, i-reconcile nila. Pag okay na, isasubmit yan ulit sa President. Okay? Now, last step sa second stage natin, which is legislation. Last step natin is President's enactment. Okay? So, President's enactment, ibig sabihin, class, yung final version from the BICAM, dadalhin sa President, and then, pwedeng may veto power si President. Okay? Pwede niya i-reject yung ibang provisions dyan, pwede niyang i-amend, and so on and so forth. Once na-approve na ni President, okay? Once na enacted na by the President, yung General Appropriations Bill, magiging General Appropriations Act. Okay? GAA. Ayan. Yun ang mangyayari dyan. Ngayon, yung GAA na yan, yan din yung national budget natin, which is, again, 5 trillion for year 2022. Gets? Okay. Now, sige, class, i-retain ko na lang to. No? I-retain natin yan, and then dito ako magsusulat ulit. I-erase ko na to, ha? So make sure nakapin nyo to. Doon na tayo sa third stage natin ng budgeting cycle or the budget process natin. Sige. Ano yung first stage ulit? Preparation. Second stage is legislation. Number 3 natin, class, is execution. Okay, so basically, yung execution, paano i-allocate, okay, yung funds na yan to, yung budget na yan to the different government agencies. Okay, yun yung execution. So, tingnan natin. So, yeah, so 2 steps na lang, class, ha? So, please be patient. Number 3, budget execution. Meron tayong ilang steps to? Meron tayong 4 steps. Step number 1, class, si DBM, magre-release siya ng tinatawag natin na, magre-release siya ng guidelines. DBM releases guidelines to the different government agencies, okay, to GAs. And then, pag nag-release siya ng guidelines, yung mga guidelines yan, nandiyan, class, yung step by step, yung mga requirements before yung mga government agencies makakuha sila ng budget from the government, okay? Para mabigay sa kanila ng pera, basically. And then after that, si government agencies, sasubmit sila ng budget execution documents, okay? Or BEDS. Budget execution documents. Yung BEDS na yan, basically, class, nandyan yung details ng project. Nandyan yung details. So, nandyan, class, yung plans, detailed plans. Nandyan yung timeline. Yung costing, ayan, nandyan yun sa budget execution documents. Isasubmit ni government agencies yan kay DBM. Alright? Step number 2, may tinatawag tayong allotment. Alright? Yung allotment, class, si DBM, nagpo-formulate siya, formulates the allotment release program. Allotment release program. So, i-discuss ko to. ARP, okay, allotment release program. So, ang purpose class ng allotment na yan is to set the limit. Sets the limit for allotment releases. Okay, sets the limit or nagsiserve siya as control. I'll give you an example. For example, class si DPWH. Okay, dito, DPWH. Let's say, ang appropriation sa kanya, yung na-approve sa kanya is appropriation, let's say 100 million. Yung 100 million na yan, buong year 2022, gagamitin ni DPWH yan. Okay? And take note, yung national budget na 5 trillion, i-collect pa lang yun. Tama? So, sa taxes, sa duties, import duties, licenses, fees, mga ganyan. I-collect pa lang. Yun yung target. Pero wala pang 5 trillion talaga si Philippines. Tama ba yan? Wala pa yung government natin. Wala pang 5 trillion. I-collect pa lang. Ngayon, yung appropriation, yun yung target for DPWH. Hindi agad kailangan ni DPWH yan. Kaya tayo may timeline. Pwedeng, let's say for example, 20 million sa January. Sa Feb, 10 million. Sa April, ganyan. So, hati-hati yan. Ang tawag natin doon, class, allotment. Let's say, sige, DPWH, ito muna yung 20 million, ha? Yan yung available natin ngayon. Okay? Yan yung ina-allot natin sa'yo. Pero ang target natin, 100 million. Yan yung appropriation mo. Gets? Okay. So, control siya. Alright? Hindi mo one time, big time na ibibigay yung 100 million. Una, wala pa tayo niyan. Wala pa si government, kukolektahin pa lang. Okay? And second, syempre, mas okay kung dahan-dahan yung pag-release ng funds. Okay? Next is step number 3, incurrence of obligations. Now, meron ng allotment yung government agencies. For example, si DPWH. Pwede na siya mag-incur ng obligations. Ano example ng obligations? Well, pwede na siya mag-hire ng mga employees. Pwede na siya mag-enter into contracts. Pwede na siya mag-order ng mga materials and so on and so forth. Obligations yung tawag natin doon. Incurrence of obligations. Now, last one, okay, is disbursement. Paano magdi-disburse or magbabayad si DPWH? Ito yung actual payment na. Okay? Now, ang mangyayari dyan, class, si DBM mag-i-issue ng DBM issues Notice of Cash Allocation. Notice of Cash Allocation or NCA. Okay? Ang mangyayari dyan kasi, yung si DPWH, bibigyan siya ng cheque. Check. Yun yung gagamitin niya. Okay? Ang ibig sabihin ng Notice of Cash Allocation, yun yung laman ng bank account ni DPWH na pwede niyang gamitin. Parang ganun. Okay? So, in the form of checks. Ang tawag natin sa cheque na yung class, yung modified disbursement system. Okay? Modified Disbursement System or MDS checks. Alright? Well, pag nagbayad si DBM, pag nagbayad si DPWH, basically matcha-charge yun sa Bureau of Treasury, BTR. Kasi sa Bureau of Treasury natin, nasa kanya yung cash. Okay? So, ulitin ko. Yung last step, actual payment, na magbabayad na si DPWH. Saan? Sa mga na-hire niya na employees, sa mga contractors, sa mga suppliers. Paano gagawin ni DPWH? Dapat may pera siya sa bangko. Okay? Bibigay siya ng cheque. Ang tawag doon, Notice of Cash Allocation, Modified Disbursement System Checks or MDS. So, tandaan niyo yung NCA, MDS. Tandaan yan. Ngayon, pag nag-issue ng check si DPWH, matcha-charge yan to BTR. Okay? Ibig sabihin ng Notice of Cash Allocation, iyan yung maximum na pwedeng i-issue ng cheque ni DPWH. Yun lang ibig sabihin natin. Alright, and last one, class, is, okay lang, erase ko to. Para hindi natin ma-erase yan, ha. Last one, sa budget process natin, stage number 4, is budget accountability. Accountability. So, mangyayari dyan, class, yung step 1 dito, meron tayong tinatawag na budget accountability reports. Wherein, the government agencies, lahat yan, okay, magpe-prepare sila or magsasubmit sila ng monthly and quarterly reports. Okay? Now, nandun yung status ng project, okay, nandun yung amount ng appropriation, ng allotment, ng obligations, ng disbursements. So, nandun yun, nasa monthly and quarterly reports. Okay? And second naman, after mag-submit ng government agencies, merong tinatawag na performance reviews. Okay? Ang magre-review niyan, ng performance ng projects, ng mga government agencies for their projects, basically si DBM and si COA. Okay? Sila bahala mag-review dyan. I-reviewin niya yung status ng project, okay? Yung timeline ng project, nakakasabay ba yung budget versus actual, okay? Let's say yung timeline, and then yung costing, okay? So, i-compare yan ni DBM and COA. Ang tawag natin doon, performance reviews. And last step is, syempre, si COA, yung audit na, basically. So, ang gagawa niyan, si COA. Okay? So, yung audit ni COA, and alam natin, class, pag in-audit ni COA yan, magpe-prepare siya ng audit reports. Nandun yung mga opinions. Okay? Again, tingnan mo lang yan sa coa.gov.ph. Yung audit reports na yan, ipapasa ni COA sa President and the Congress. Okay? President and Congress. Yan. Ganyan yung 4 stages na yun, class. Ang tawag natin dyan, budget cycle, your budget preparation, legislation, execution, and accountability. Okay, now, last one na to, class, no? Last one na to before we answer our handouts, no? So, very important din to. Tingnan natin, class. Erase ko na to kasi I believe mas important yung nasa right side. Erase natin to. Tingnan natin, class, kung ano yung difference ng reports for yung alam natin sa accounting versus government accounting. Okay? So, financial accounting versus government accounting. Tingnan natin, class. Ito yung accounting or recording process. Accounting or recording process. Okay, so tingnan natin. Paano ba nagre-record sa government accounting? Ganito yan, class. Meron 3 na categories. Number 1, journal. Meron din silang journals. Parang sa financial accounting. Meron silang general journal, cash receipts journal, cash disbursements journal, and check disbursements journal. Okay? Actually, wala silang, well, hindi applicable yung sales journal dyan kasi hindi naman nagbebenta, tama? Purchases journal naman, hindi rin applicable kasi usually by check, hindi on account. Okay? So, meron din journals yung mga government agencies. Same lang sa alam natin. Meron din silang ledgers. Okay? Ledgers, meron silang subsidiary ledger, meron silang general ledger. Okay? So, same. Walang difference sa dalawa na yan. Dito yan may difference. Okay? Ito yung kakaiba sa government accounting. Tandaan mo to. Meron silang tinatawag na registries. Okay? Registries. Sir, ano yung registries na yan? Yung registries, class, ginagamit yan for monitoring purposes. Alright? Ang difference niya, tandaan mo to. Yung registries, para siyang logbooks. Tandaan mo yan. Parang logbooks yan. Okay? Wala yung debit, credit. Walang ganun. Okay? Literally, pang monitor lang yan. Isipin mo para siyang G-sheets natin sa taxation. Parang ganun. Ililista mo lang kung ano yung nangyari. Pero hindi yan actually accounting records. Okay? Logbook lang yan, pang monitor lang natin yan. Alright? Wala siyang debit, walang credit side. Okay? Now, meron tayong 4 types of registries. Tandaan mo to. Okay ko, A. Medyo mahaba, sulat mo. Registry of revenue and other receipts or RROR. Okay? RROR. Revenue or Registry of Revenue and Other Receipts. Letter B, Registry of Appropriation and Allotment, or ang tawag natin dito, RAPAL. Okay? Registry of Appropriation and Allotment. RAPAL. Letter C, Registry of Allotments, Obligations, and Disbursements. And Disbursements. So, ito muna. Mamaya, i-define natin ito pagdating natin sa handouts. Okay? Or RAOD. Okay? RAOD. And then, letter D, we have Registry of Budgets, Utilization, and Disbursement. Disbursements. Or RBUD. Yun. Okay. So, meron tayong 4 na registries. ROR, RAPAL, RAOD, and RBUD. Okay, sir. Ano nga ba ulit yung registries? Again, class. Ulitin ko, pang-monitor lang natin yan. Isipin mo para siyang logbook, okay? Hindi siya journal entry, okay? Walang debit, walang credit. Ngayon class, yung apat na yan, pwede pa nating i-categorize into 4. Alright? Ganito yan. Sulat ko dito. Meron tayong tinatawag na personnel services or PS. Ito yung mga categories ng expenditures natin. So, I'll explain ko later. Sulat ko muna, ha? Apat. We have maintenance and other operating expenses or MOOE. Ayan. Number 3, meron tayong financial expenses or FE. And number 4, we have capital outlays. Capital outlays or CO. Sir, ano ibig sabihin ng mga yan? Ganito yung class. For example, RAPAL. Okay? Ito kasi may pronounce ROAR. Ito na ang RAPAL. Meron tayong RAPAL PS. Meron tayong RAPAL MOOE. Meron tayong RAPAL FE and RAPAL CO. Meron tayong RAOD PS, RAOD MOE, RAOD FE, RAOD CO. Ganun din sa ARBUD, ganun din sa ROAR. Okay? Ibig sabihin lang yung class, lahat ng related sa personnel o yung mga employees, dito mo i-record yan. Ilalagbook mo yan. Ilalag mo yan dito. Lahat ng related sa maintenance and OPEX, dito yan. Lahat ng related sa interest expense, sa financial expenses yan. Lahat ng related sa PPE or capital outlays, dito yan sa CO. Gets? Okay. Parang subcategories lang yan ito. Okay, so sige. Tingnan natin yung handouts natin, class. Para mas ma-appreciate natin yan. Get your handouts. Start muna tayo dun sa identification. Ayan. So we have, ilang items ba to? 20 items. Okay, let's go to number 1. Has the exclusive authority to promulgate accounting and auditing rules and regulations. It keeps the general accounts of the government, supporting vouchers and other documents, submit financial reports or annual reports to the President and Congress. That's Commission on Audit or COA. Okay? COA. Let's go to number 2, responsible for the formulation and implementation of the national budget. We know that's Department of Budget and Management or DBM. Number 3, functions under Department of Finance and is the cash custodian of the government. It is authorized to receive and keep national funds and manage and control the disbursements thereof and maintains accounts of financial transactions of all national government offices, agencies, instrumentalities, Bureau of Treasury or BTR. Number 4, any department, bureau, or office of the national government or any of its branches and instrumentalities, government agencies or GAs, government agencies. Number 5, the authorization made by a legislative body to allocate funds for purposes specified by the legislative or similar authority. It's an authorization, it's what you call appropriation. Again, appropriation, iyan yung na-approve na budget sa'yo. Iyan yung target budget for each government agency. Okay? Allotment. Authorization. Number 6 is allotment. Authorization issued by the DBM to government agencies to incur obligations for specified amounts. Contained in the legislative appropriation, it is also referred to as obligational authority. So yung 6 is allotment, 5 is appropriation. In-explain ko na earlier, ano difference nila? Para maging, to serve as a control, hindi lahat ibibigay mo agad yung appropriation. Dahan-dahan yan. Ang tawag na doon, allotment. Okay? Number 7, an act of duly authorized official which binds the government to the immediate or eventual payment of a sum of money. Obligation may be referred to as commitment. Ito yung example ko kanina. Hiring of employees, entering into contracts, ordering of supplies. Ang tawag natin sa number 7 is obligation. Okay, obligation. Number 8 refers to the actual amount paid out of the budgeted amount. This is the point where the government offices obtain access to government funds. Ang tawag natin dito, disbursement. Okay? Disbursement. Number 9, pertains to the document needed upon incurrence of obligations. The requesting office shall prepare this document supported by a valid claim, documents like disbursement, etc. So class, di ba kanina yung mga obligations, sama hiring, ordering, contracts, mga ganyan. Ngayon, yung government agency, magpe-prepare siya ng tinatawag natin na obligation request and status. Okay? Obligation request and status or ORS. So that mo yan, that's the answer for number 9. Pine-prepare yan whenever nag-i-incur ng obligations. Okay? So again, class, for government accounting, mahalaga dito, journal entries, later aralin natin yon, and mga terms or mga theories like this one. Okay? So 9 is ORS. Number 10, authority issued by the DBM to central, regional, provincial offices to cover their cash requirements. Specifies the maximum amount of cash that can be withdrawn from a government servicing bank in a certain period. Ang tawag natin, Notice of Cash Allocation or NCA. Okay? For number 10. Used to monitor the balance of NCA to determine the amount of allotments not covered by NCA. Okay, si DBM ang bahala dito. Yung sagot natin sa 11 class, yung pag-monitor ng NCA is RANCA. Sulat mo to, RANCA or Registry of Allotments and Notice of Cash Allocation. So FYI, no? Yun yung pang-monitor natin ng NCA. Lagay mo dyan, RANCA, Registry of Allotments and Notice of Cash Allocation. Okay, let's go to number 12. Used to monitor the budgeted amounts, actual collections, and remittance of revenues and other receipts. Ang tawag natin dyan, ito, yung ROR, Registry of Revenue and Other Receipts. So, sulat mo yan. For number 12, it's ROR. Okay, ROR. Number 13, used to monitor the appropriations, allotments. This is to ensure that allotments will not exceed appropriations. Tawag natin dyan, RAPAL. Okay? Registry of Appropriation and Allotment. That's number 13. No? Number 14, used to monitor the allotments, obligations, incurred and the corresponding allotment, and the actual disbursement. So, nakabold yung mga items na mahalaga dito. Ha? Ang tawag natin dyan sa number 14 is RAOD. Registry of Allotments, Obligations, and Disbursements. Number 15, used to record the approved special budget. Okay? Ito naman class yun. And the corresponding utilizations and disbursement. So, budget, utilization, disbursement, that's your RBUD. Okay? Registry of Budget, Utilization, and Disbursement. RBUD for number 15. Number 16, pertain to all types of employee benefits, salaries, bonuses, allowances, personnel services. Okay? Or PS. Hindi personal, ha? Hindi personal. Personnel, ibig sabihin, related sa employees. Okay? Number 16, PS yan. Personnel services. Number 17, pertains to various operating expenses. Other than employee benefits and financial expenses, ang tawag na dyan, MOOE or Maintenance and Other Operating Expenses. Okay? Number 18, pertains to finance cost or yung interest expense natin. Ayan, bank charges, losses, ang tawag natin dyan, financial expenses or FE. Okay, that's for number 18, FE. Pertain to capitalizable expenditures, such as PPE. Ayan, ang tawag natin dyan, capital outlays or CO. Okay, and number 20, yung number 20 class, ilagay mo muna to. Mamaya, babalikan natin to, kasi important yan. For number 20, sagot natin dyan class, basahin mo natin. Used to recognize in the books of government agencies the constructive remittance of taxes will withheld to the BIR or customs withheld to BOC and the constructive receipt of NCA. Ang tawag dito class, ang sagot natin for number 20 is tax remittance advice. Okay? Tax remittance advice or TRA. Sulat mo muna, babalikan natin yan. Again, answer for number 20, tax remittance advice or TRA. Alright? So before we continue, let's have a short break.